Hi guys, so as you saw, there's something wrong with my machine. It's not behaving normally. What basically happened was I was doing a lot of 3D printing over the last 2 years with this machine, using it quite rough. And there are some precautions I didn't take. I'll talk about that later. First, I'll tell you what I was trying out. I was trying to make these scaled down versions of the E30. People say, why don't you print scale models? I thought, hey, heck, why don't I try it out? So here's one of the tries. It failed over here, but well, we'll resume that later on when this is back into action. The other thing I was doing was I was building a gimbal. So the gimbal is going to follow, I'll be able to put my DSLR on it and follow the movement of the 3D printer, and each time it takes one step upwards, the head will move out of the way and it'll take a shot. So you get this beautiful, what would you say, a time lapse where you're able to see the movement without any obstruction of the head. Unlike when you have the GoPro and it's just taking it time based and you have movement of the head. So two different ways, but this is going to be far cooler. So with this gimbal, I just have to put in some bearings that are easily available and some other hardware. I'm just looking for some more stuff that wasn't available, it should be, but yeah, some rods and stuff like that. So what's wrong with this machine? What basically happened was maybe I moved the motors too fast when the machine was on. I noticed before that this screen would light up. So probably some sort of back current or stuff I don't understand because I'm not really into electronics. I can't say that I know everything, but I'm not really into this, but I'd like to try it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be changing the main board that's in here. And basically you just take this out, put in another motherboard, main board, whatever we want to call it. It controls everything, and I've also got a new screen coming in. And I'll be upgrading this machine, and that way I'll know how to work on this myself. It also needs drivers, but I'm also working on another machine, a CNC mill that I've had for ages. I maybe bought it about 3-4 years ago, but never put it together, never put in the electronics. It's a frame. So I thought, hey, why don't I just learn how to do this and then go for the next step later on. So I'll be taking this further that way. And if I have any problems, I'm sure guys, some followers would help me out on Instagram, or even some of you guys could help me out with figuring out how to program this thing once I pick up the new main board. I'll be showing you the whole process too. Apart from that, I'd like to supersize this. So I'm thinking of, I showed you guys the other extrusions I have. I'd like to widen this. I picked up the extrusions, the hardware. Some things are missing, like the threaded rod over here. Threaded rod over here. That's something I'd like to find, but it was a little hard to get. And yeah, what you saw in the video was basically the machine turning on and this constantly heating, which is a real fire risk. That's something that's really dangerous. So there are some precautions to prevent this. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prevent the next machine from getting spoiled by putting in an inverter and a UPS, and that will protect it from any power surges, and also being more careful, like moving this thing around quickly was probably one of the reasons it burnt. I don't know. We never know till it breaks down. So that was one of the possibilities. The other thing is this needs a dust-proof environment, and you can see it's really dusty. The other thing that should be done with this is it should be in an environment that doesn't have anything that could catch fire, because this is a fire risk at the end of it. And you should monitor your machine every half an hour, I would say. That's a safe bet. If you had something that you're confident with and a table that can't catch fire, nothing around it, making something like that lets you feel safer, and you could run it overnight and anything like that. But if you want to run this machine overnight, I would be reluctant to do something like that in this type of setup. You know, you have it on your desk next to your computer, other electronics. This is reaching to 130 degrees centigrade. You never know what can happen. So I would say be careful, set up your machine in a safe environment, and take the necessary precautions. Power surges should not happen from misuse and from the external power. So you have to be careful with that, and try to make a nice environment for your machine to be happy and safe. So I'll keep you guys updated when I finally get these parts. First I'll be changing the electronics, and then I'll be changing the extrusions. So it'll be a two-step process. Hopefully I don't have any snags, and that'll be next week's update about this machine. So next week these two guys should be coming in. The main board, the drivers, and the new screen. The reason I picked up a new screen is because, well, that was a touch screen and it also has a memory card reader, and the new main board I picked up did not have a memory card reader. So I thought, why not just get the memory card reader? It's easier for me to transfer stuff from the computer and back. So yeah, I'll update you guys next week. Thanks for checking out this update, and see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.